Yeah, welcome to another episode of THP Tutorials. This is your boy Seth Nikwe. In this video, we'll be looking at the ninth chapter in Management Information System. That's about achieving operational excellence and customer intimacy, right? So, enterprise applications, right? So, the ninth chapter is about enterprise applications, and I'm going to look at how we use enterprise applications to achieve operational excellence and customer intimacy. To do that, we'll do that by following these objectives. First, we'll explain how enterprise systems help businesses achieve operational excellence. We'll also look at how supply chain management systems coordinate planning, production, and logistics with suppliers. How do customer relationship management systems help firms achieve customer intimacy? And what are the challenges posed by enterprise applications? And how are enterprise applications taking advantage of new technologies? Very well. So before we begin, the question becomes what are enterprise applications, right? Enterprise applications are simply software programs that are used to coordinate the entire organization. So that's why we call them enterprise applications, because they are used for the whole systems, right? So they coordinate various business activities, or they combine various business activities that are related together. And the types of enterprise application programs, the types of enterprise application or enterprise software applications are one. So you have the enterprise systems, right? Then there's the supply chain management systems. Then there's the customer relationship management system. Now, these ones that have been highlighted are just the major types, or the types that the ninth chapter is focusing on. However, there are more enterprise applications available. All right, so let's start with the first enterprise systems. We hear what? So when you hear enterprise resource planning (ERP) systems, those are the enterprise systems, right? And they are a suite of integrated software modules and a common central database. So it's made up of integrated software modules in a central database. Now, what the ERP systems do is that they collect data from many divisions of the firm, and this data that they collect is used in all of the firm's internal business activities. Now, the information entered in one process is immediately available for other processes. Here we have a diagram of what the or of how the enterprise systems work. Now, the ERP systems, right? You have the centralized database over here. You have human resources, finance and accounting. You have sales and marketing, and then manufacturing and production. So the enterprise systems feature a set of integrated software modules, right? So this is the module software for the software module for finance and accounting, right? This is the one for human resources. This is the manufacturing and production, and this is sales and marketing, right? If you remember, these are the four major functions of a business. Now, so inside the software, you have for the finance and accounting, you have cash on hand, account receivable, customer credit, and all the information that is relevant in that, you know, department, right? That department has their software module. Like I said that it collects data from many divisions of the firm for use in nearly all of the firm's internal business activities. So anything that you want to do in the firm, you can, whether you're in the sales department, whether you're in the finance department, whether you're in the human resource department or the manufacturing production department, you can use the ERP to get the information that you're looking for. Alright, so now enterprise software, right? Now enterprise software are built around thousands of predefined processes that reflect best practices, right? So the predefined business processes revolve around these ones. So the business processes in finance and accounting, those in human resource, those in manufacturing and production, and those in sales and marketing. These are the business processes, right? And the ERP software is built around these processes, and they only make sure that they take the processes that reflect the best practices in the industry. Now they use these practices to implement. So they implement their practices, right? So to implement firms. So to implement ERP software, the firm select functions of the system which they used to use, which they wish to use, and then they map the business processes to software processes, right? So every business process has its own software process, right? And use the software's configuration tables for customizing, right? Now, if you remember the first objective, let's go back and look at that. That objective was to what? How do enterprise systems help businesses achieve operational excellence? So this answers that question, right? So the business value of enterprise systems, right? What is the importance or significance of an enterprise system or an ERP system to the business, and how does it help them achieve operational excellence, right? So it does that by increasing operational efficiency. It does that by providing firm-wide information to support decision making. It also enables rapid responses to customer requests for information on products, and it includes analytical tools to evaluate overall organizational performance. Right. So maybe you're asked that how do ERP systems help the firm, or how does the firm use ERP systems or enterprise systems to enhance or achieve operational excellence? You just state this ones: increase operational efficiency, provide firm-wide information, support the decision making, right? Enable rapid responses to customers' requests for information. Very good. So you realize that the enterprise systems is handling the achieving operational excellence part, right? Why of the topic of, or the title of chapter 9, right? This one, where I'm highlighting right now. Very well. So what's the next thing I look at? Now look at supply chain management system. Now, before I talk more about the supply chain management system, with the supply chain management, you may ask which side of the title is it talking about? We'll find out very soon. So, is it also contributing to operational excellence, or is it contributing to customer intimacy? We'll talk more about that very soon. So, before we talk about supply chain management systems, what's the supply chain, right? Now, a supply chain is a network of organizations and processes for procuring, right, buying materials, transforming them into products, and then distributing the products, right? So with the supply chain is simply the network of organizations and processes that we use to buy the materials, and the ones that we also use to transform the materials into products, the ones that we use to distribute the products to our markets. Now there are three types of supply chain, right? We start from here. Three types. There's the upstream, right? And that involves the firm suppliers and then the suppliers. So if you are a firm, when you talk about your upstream supply chain, that's between you and your suppliers and the organizations that supply your suppliers. Are you getting it? So the firm suppliers and then the suppliers. So it's not even so as a firm, your suppliers and then the suppliers of your suppliers. That's your upstream supply chain, right? And the downstream supply chain is what? Between the organization and its customers. And the internal supply chain is the supply chain within the organization, right? So here's an illustration of that. How they are upstream, contract supplier, right? So this is the upstream, this is the downstream, right? Distributor to customer. So the firm's distribution to these customers. Very well. Right. So the internal is just within the organization itself. Right. So if this is Nike, right? So this is Nike. So the supply chain within Nike will be the internal. So the downstream is what? Between the Nike and its customers. The supply chain, right? So you have distributors, you have retailers, and you have customers. So for the upstream, so you contract supplier. Who is supplying Nike suppliers? That's the upstream supply chain. Right. So supply chain management. Now this is just giving us relevant concepts that we need to have idea about when we are talking about supply chain management, right? So inefficiencies cut into a company's operating cost, right? So inefficiencies in your supply chain will increase your cost, and it can waste up to 25% of your operating expense, right? So another thing so that's just information, right? General information about supply chain management, and speaking to why it is important to have your supply chain together, right? If you don't have it together, your operating cost will be higher than necessary. So you have the just in time strategy, right? And we mentioned this in man accounting. That's what components arrive as they are needed, and finished goods are shipped after leaving the assembly line. So with the just in time, you can just check the man accounting video. That one was on activity based costing. Activity based costing and traditional absorption costing. Just check out that video and you get more, and the theory one, the theory aspect, and you get information about the just in time strategy. So the safety stock is just simply talking about, buffer for lack of flexibility in your supply chain. Maybe your supply chain is not flexible, or they cannot meet demands out of the blue. So you might have an emergency situation and you need emergency supply. You must so the safety stock will be something, a stash that you don't touch. Your stash of inventory that you don't touch. So when that emergency arises, you use your safety stock for that, because your supply chain is not flexible. You have the bullwhip effect. That's just speaking to when information about your product demand gets distorted as it passes from one entity to the next across the supply chain. So the bullwhip effect is speaking to the distortion of product demand information, right? So this is the bullwhip effect. Is that inaccurate information can cause minor fluctuations in the demand for a product to be amplified as one moves further back in the supply chain, right? Minor fluctuations in retail sales for a product can create excess inventory for distributors, manufacturers, and suppliers. So here you have you have the downstream, right? Your customers, your retailers, and your distributors. See what the customers requested for. See what the retailer has recorded. See what the distributor has recorded. See what the manufacturer has recorded. See what the suppliers have received. See what the right. So yeah, is distorted. Right. This communication is not effective. This should have been exactly what was transferred from all these organizations and processes. Whereas that it has been distorted. So I don't know that it might even end up losing more. You incur more cost than necessary. Exactly. Now, supply chain management software. There are two types of supply chain management software, right? The first is supply chain planning systems, and then we have the supply chain execution system. So when it comes to supply chain management software, right, not the system, the software, right? So you have the supply chain planning systems. They use a different software, and then you have the supply chain execution systems. For the supply chain planning systems, they help you model your existing supply chain, right? You model it, you create it, or you design it. They also enable you to plan about your demand, also to optimize your sourcing and manufacturing plans, helps you establish inventory levels, and also helps identify transportation modes. Right now, the supply chain execution systems, they manage the flow of products through distribution centers and warehouses. So those are the two types of supply chain management software, right? So we have the supply chain planning and the supply chain execution. Very well. Right now, this is just talking about the global issues, right? Issues in the supply chain globally. When you are dealing on a global scale, some of the issues you face in your supply chain is what you have to be covering greater geographical distances. You'll be operating in different, so timing the time around the world is different, right? You have different time zones, so the difference in time will also be greater. So you have to plan your orders well. Now your participant, so now there are also participants from different countries, and with that comes along what different performance standards and different legal requirements, right? So you have to account for all these things. These are all issues. And the internet helps to manage the difficulties of running a global supply chain by providing warehouse management, transportation management, logistics, and outsourcing, right? So this is how the internet can. So these are the solutions the internet brings to the table to help you manage your global supply chain issues. So moving on, right now the supply chain management itself, right? Now the supply chain management, right? This is not about the system, it's not about the software, it's about the management. So there's a push-based model, which is what build to stock, and there's a pull-based model, which is the demand-driven, right? And then the internet enables moves from sequential supply chain movements to concurrent supply chains. That has to do with the complex network of suppliers that can adjust immediately. Well, let's talk more about the push-based model, right? It says build to stock. Let's, let's look at this diagram. So you see that you have the supplier, manufacturer, distributor, retailer, customer, right? With that one, the supply and the supply changes works out. We are out of inventory. We just go and buy inventory and fill our shelves, right? So everything is based on projections or budgets or forecasts. So the suppliers will forecast that will be supplying this amount. The manufacturers will also forecast that or predict that what we will need this amount. And then distributors will also say that okay, we'll distribute this amount. Then retailers will also buy this amount and stock their shelves with their forecast. And when the customers come, they just buy what is on the shelves. So that's how that first one works. How you supply your product, your supply chain management. That's how the push-based model works, right? But with the pull-based model, there's no forecast involved. Your customer will make an order, your retailer will take that order and restock for the customer, and then the distributor will also what follow up on the order coming from the customer to the retailer. Then the distributor sends that information to the manufacturer. The manufacturer will also produce that amount that the customers are needing, right? The demand. And they also request that same order from the supplier. So there's no forecast involved. The demand driven, the pull based model is all about producing, ordering, distributing, and restocking exactly what the customers need. So that's the difference between the push based and then the pull based model, right? So push based, build to stock, right? And that's how the earlier supply chain management systems work, right? The schedules were based on best guesses of demand, right? Here, best guesses of demand, right? And the pull based is web based, right? Customer order triggers events in the supply chain, right? So the customer that is driving everything. Very well. Now this point says that the internet enables the move from sequential supply chains to concurrent supply chains, right? When you say sequential, yes. So that has to do with complex network of suppliers. So that enables a complex network of suppliers to adjust immediately. Right. So now the business value of supply chain management systems, right? So let's go back to our objective over here. What did this say? This talked about what? How do supply chain management systems coordinate planning, production, and logistics with the suppliers? So supply chain management systems coordinate planning, production, and distribution with suppliers by not this one. So what's the value of the supply chain management systems to the firm, right? The supply chain management systems provide help the firms and their suppliers coordinate planning, production, and distribution of their products by what matching supply to demand to reduce inventory levels. They do that by improving delivery service. They speed up the product time to the market. They speed up product time to market. Right? Time to market is how long it will take from production to market. So how long will it take your product from the time it's being produced to the time that it will finally get to the market and be available to the consumer, right? So supply chain management systems speed that up. Now they also use assets more efficient and effectively, and there's reduced supply chain costs, which lead to increased profitability. Right, total supply chain costs can be 75% of operating budget, so that can be reduced. Right, and supply chain management systems also increase sales. Right, so if you look at these things that end up being real that supply chain management systems are 50-50 in the title, right? They are both helping us achieve operational excellence and also helping us achieve customer intimacy by fulfilling the customers' needs and desires. So the supply chain management systems are 50-50, they are here and there, right? But the ERP systems were more focused on what? Achieving operational excellence. So let's move to the next, which is what? Customer relationship management systems, the CRM systems, and those ones they are fully what about the customer, everything to do with the customer. So supply chain, the CRM system, the customer relationship management system, they are mainly focused on helping us what achieve intimacy with the customers. So what does customer relationship management entail, right? It's all about knowing a customer, right? In large businesses, too many customers and too many ways customers interact with the firm, right? There are too many customers. So the firm will need a system or a way to manage their customers, especially when they are numerous. So we have the customer relationship management systems, right? The CRM system. And how do they work? First of all, they capture and integrate customer data from all over the organization. What do they do with the data? They then consolidate and analyze the customer data. And then they distribute the customer information, right? When they consolidate and they analyze the customer data, it's no longer data, right? It is going to be manipulated. So they will have information about the customers now, right? And they'll distribute that information to the various systems and customer touch points across the enterprise, right? Now they also provide single enterprise view of customers, right? So the CRM systems allow the whole organization to have a single view of their customers. Right. So customer relationship management systems examine customers from a multifaceted perspective, right? So multifaceted meaning multiple angles. These systems use a set of integrated applications to address all aspects of the customer relationship, including customer service, sales, and marketing. Right? So sales, marketing, service. Right? This is the customer. All these are all information about the customer, about your customers. Now, so is that what these systems use a set of integrated applications, right? So I have an application for sales, an application for marketing, and an application for service, right? And these applications address all aspects of the customer relationships, right? So these are also the aspects of the customer relationship that they address, right? Customer service, marketing, and then sales, right? So they have applications that are going to touch on sales, applications that are going to touch on marketing, and applications that are going to touch on services, because those are the relevant aspects of the relationship that they have with their customers. Right. So what's a CRM software? Now, so customer relationship management software. All you have to bear in mind is that it has to do with the customer, right? It has to do with knowing the customer, and there are more comprehensive models, right? Packages range from packages for the CRM softwares range from niche tools to large scale enterprise applications. More comprehensive. So now the packages, there are more comprehensive applications, and for there are more comprehensive packages, and those packages have modules for what? Partner relationship management and employee relationship management. So customer relationship management software encompasses a lot. Some of them will also enable you to have systems that you can use to manage your partners and also manage your relationship with your employees as well, right? So for the partner relationship management own, It has to do with integrating lead generation, pricing, promotions, other configurations, and availability, right? It also provide tools for you to assess your partner's performance. With the employee relationship management, the ERM, it has to do with setting objectives, employee performance management, and performance-based compensation or employee training. Moving on, yeah, so there's CRM packages. The customer relationship management packages typically include tools for what? Salesforce automation, right? Customer service and then marketing. So usually the packages include the tools that we use to what? Automate our Salesforce, tools to tools for customer service, which involves what? Assigning and managing customer service requests, web-based self-service capabilities, among others, right? Then there's a marketing, right? You capture your prospect and customer data, scheduling and tracking, direct marketing, mailings for email, and cross-selling. Right now, at the foundational level, at the basic level, there are two types of customer relationship management. There's the operational aspect and then there's the analytical aspect. The operational aspect has to do with customer facing applications such as sales force automation, call center and customer service, support and marketing automation. Right, that's the operational aspect. Then there's the analytical aspect, which is what is based on data warehouses populated by operational customer relationship management systems and customer touchpoints. Right? And these analyze customer data, the OLAP and then data mining. We spoke about this, right? And that I think that was on a database, right? And have what? The customer lifetime value. So you have operational customer relationship management, you have analytical customer relationship management. Very well. So let me go back a bit and let's talk about this. Right? You know that how the CRM systems, they capture and integrate customer data, right? They consolidate and analyze the data, right? So the consolidation part can fall under the operational, and the analyzing can fall under what the analytical. And I hope that helps simplify it more. Right. So now I'm answering the question. Right. So what was the main question in the slide? In the objectives. Going back, there was what? How do customer relationship management systems help firms achieve customer intimacy? Right. So to answer this question, we say what? We say customer relationship management systems help the firm achieve customer intimacy by increasing customer satisfaction, reducing direct marketing costs, being more effective with marketing, and lowering the cost of customer acquisition and retention. And also what? It increases sales revenue. Now, this is also another general information that CRM management systems will help it. The churn rate. That's the number of customers who stop using or purchasing products or services from a company. Right? It's an indicator of growth or decline of the firm's customer base. So the churn rate is used to analyze or measure the growth of your firm. Is it growing or is it declining? In terms of your customer base or your market share. Right. So we're moving on now. So you can take these notes down. You can if you haven't, so pay attention to this. Right. This is the main answer to the slide. The rest are just general information on how the enterprise application systems work. But this is actually the main. You see that it's always repeating. So this is how the business and the customer relationship management systems are helping the business, right? How they are helping the business to achieve customer intimacy, right? So be taking note of the business value, the business value is important. Now, move on to the last objective, which was what? The challenges and opportunities, right? First, the challenges that enterprise applications, are bringing on board, and also the opportunities that are available for enterprise applications, right? How they can use new technologies. So I started with the challenges, right? So enterprise application challenges, they are highly expensive to purchase and implement enterprise. So one challenge is that what enterprise applications, they are highly expensive to purchase and implement, right? So the average cost of an ERP project in 2014 was what, $2.8 million, right? Another challenge is that it requires you changing the technology in your organization. So that can also be difficult because people have to learn how to use and those new technologies as well. And there's the business process changes. It will change the business process, the routines in the organizations, right? And then it also change organizational learning, to also bring about organizational change. Switching costs depend on the software vendor, right? So that's a challenge. And there's a data standardization, management, and cleansing. So these are all new things that must be done. It's not very easy. Right. So the next generation of enterprise applications, right? How enterprise applications are taking advantage of new technologies, or how they can take advantage of new technologies, right? They have the enterprise solutions or suites. So they can do that. So they'll make applications more flexible, web enabled, and integrated with other systems. Now you can have the SOA standard. That the SOA means service oriented architecture. Right? So they can make enterprise applications for firms that are into services. Right? The current ones are mostly based on products, or manufacturing companies. Right? They can also implement the open source applications. We've also talked about that. And on-demand solutions, cloud-based versions, what? So they can make cloud-based versions of ERP system. Sorry, enterprise applications. Right? ERP comes under enterprise applications. Now, functionality for mobile platform, right? They can also help, take advantage and make it make versions for mobile phones. Right now, the next generation enterprise applications, they have social customer relationship management and the business intelligence, right? Business intelligence. So the social CRM, they can incorporate social networking technologies. They can also have company social networks and monitor social media activity or social media analytics and manage social and web-based campaigns. Right, so that's something that they can do in the next generation of enterprise applications. Make it more social. And then there's business intelligence. We also talk about this, and that's good. So they can also include business intelligence with enterprise applications, and that will allow for flexible reporting, ad hoc analysis, what if scenarios, digital dashboards, and data visualization. Right. So that's all for this chapter. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and let us know how we can improve and be better for you. Right. We also like to thank all our 363 subscribers currently. We appreciate all all of you guys, and also encourage all the new viewers to subscribe as well. See you in the next video.